Hi guys, how are you doing? I'm going to be doing an update and not the true report that you expect. The reason I've got my hand there is because if I do that, the dead cat falls in front of the microphone. Now, this is a dead cat, it's not literally a dead cat, but it's this big furry thing that blocks out wind noise on camera microphones. Unfortunately, it's a lot bigger than the microphone, so it does fall on top of the mic. However, if I do that, perfect, cool. I'll have to stretch over the controls. Not the end of the world, but we're going to roll with it anyway. So I am currently planning some quite big trips for the channel for 2022, when hopefully no PCR tests will be required to leave the country, and masks won't be required, as everyone who wants the vaccine will have had the vaccine. But I don't know what's going to happen in 2022. I don't think anyone does. But that being said, I don't think anyone in 2019 could have predicted what was coming in 2020. Yeah. So I was originally going to be, so the week after, so on the 5th of July, I was supposed to be heading out heading to mainland Europe to film a load of content. So I was supposed to be getting the Eurostar from London to Brussels on a 374. I know it's going to be a 374 because it's the Amsterdam service, and the 373s aren't cleared to run into Amsterdam. In fact, they're not cleared past Brussels, and either towards Frankfurt or towards Amsterdam. Then I was supposed to be heading to Antwerp on Thalys on their TGV PBA sets. So it's based on the TGV Rezo, and I've seen a TGV. In fact, I've seen a pair of TGV Thalys PBA sets. So TGV Rezos in Thalys colours. Going from Paris Gare du Nord to Amsterdam Central, and I've also seen the Eurostar service to Amsterdam at Schiphol Airport last year, and then once I got to Antwerp, I was supposed to be heading to Rotterdam on Netherlands Spoorwegen on an ICD. Then once I got to Rotterdam, I've been over the night in Rotterdam, before continuing on to Berlin via Utrecht Central and Amsterdam Central. So one of the koploppers from Rotterdam Central to Utrecht Central, and then from Utrecht Central to Amsterdam Central. No idea why I went incredibly Dutch. Then once I got to Amsterdam, I was then going to be getting the Intercity Berlin all the way to Berlin. There is a faster option that involves a connection at Hanover. However, I will be connected onto an ICE at Hanover, and I'll be on quite a few ICEs on days 3, 4 and 5. So day 3 would be I would go to Vienna, and what I'll be doing was I'll be going through Munich and Salzburg. So I'll get an ICE down to Munich, then a regional over the border to Salzburg, and then I would get the Railjet, so the Österreichischen Bundesbahnen Railjet, which is one of the best. I mean, it's up there with the TGV and the ICE for best European high-speed train. Then I get the Nightjet to Zurich, and then I'll on day 3, and then I would then go up to Dusseldorf, so I get Schweizer Bundesbahn Intercity service to Bâle, and then an Intercity Express to Frankfurt, and then another ICE to Dusseldorf, and then overnight one last night in Dusseldorf before connecting on to before getting to Brussels via Cologne and getting the Eurostar back to London. Then there's also a Scottish filming trip that's 3 days, and basically I'll be covering Hull Trains 802 Paragon, the LNER Mark 4 sets, Northern 170, I think, yes, on a Leeds to York via Harrogate service, so we're going the long way around to York. Then cross TPA Nova 1 to Newcastle, cross country HST to Edinburgh, and then the overnight Edinburgh, well, 2 nights Edinburgh, but after the first night then go to Edinburgh Gateway and back. I think at the minute it's planned to go up to Edinburgh Gateway on a ScotRail 117 back down on a 158. Both of them are Glen Rothes services, so it could easily be switched to them both being 170s or them both being 158s. I don't know. And then I'll go back into Edinburgh, Nova 2 for TPE over to Lockerbie, and then up to Glasgow, a 380, a ScotRail 380 to Edinburgh, or back to Edinburgh, and then I would go up to Dundee. So I would get an Inter7 City set to Dundee, and then I would, from Dundee, I'd then go back to Edinburgh on a Aberdeen to Leeds service for LNER on an 8 Class 800 Azuma. Then, but I'm hoping to start a Scottish trip later in 2021. However, it could easily be early 2022. But in order to help make it reality, do what my amazing patrons say will do. And before I explain what they do, I'd just like to say thank you to my amazing Patreon supporters. Without you guys, this channel would not be possible. So my patrons, they support my Patreon, and you can join me on Patreon. Support my Patreon for £1 a month plus, for as little as £1 a month, and in that you get a thank you message. It's personalised if you pledge more than £10. And you get 24-hour early access to videos. So, for you, a new Trainspotting video would come out every Tuesday at 6 PM London time, and a new trip report would come out every Saturday at 5 PM London time. And if you don't want to support my Patreon, that is fine. You can buy some merchandise. So as I was saying, by buying some merchandise, you can well get the JJP look. And I wear JJP merch when I'm out filming. However, there are certain times where I need to go incognito, and I will not wear merch. But you can also support. However, if you don't want to buy merchandise or support my Patreon, the short and you like unedited content, the short channel is one for you. Okay, now there is a link to everything in the description down below, and if you like what I'm doing with the short channel, so if you like what I'm doing with the short channel, Anthony Furnivall's channel is one for you. I've put a link to that in the description down below. So, my camera battery is literally about to die, so I'm going to cut this video here. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, and I shall see you soon for a new video. My next station is going to be from Brookwood on the South Western Main Line, and we'll see services operated by GB Rail Freight, Freightliner, and South Western Railway. So until then, bye bye.